Last year, so you started last year in June, huh?
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
I
my
took
goodness.
over. We kind of had a late exit. I took over in June. It kind of hit it on the fly with a whole new offensive system, and we were doing kind of the same things on defense. So I felt like our defense played a lot better throughout the season by knowing what was going on. Our kids really grew up a lot through the whole season. Like, we started out thinking it was going to be a little bit different than it was, and we had some injuries early. We lost our quarterback in the second quarter of the first game, so we kind of had some growing pains. We had some kids come out after the first game, so they didn't get eligible till week 5. When they got eligible, it kind of helped us out a lot. And we were in some games then. We went from getting blown off the field to we were getting beat 28-21, 27-21, stuff like that. So we were in games, and I think just the learning curve of our kids really fueled what our off season and what the summer has really looked like.
Yeah, I'm sure when you changed the systems too, it must have been one of those things where you took a look at your personnel and thought that this would work better, and then the guy running it, your quarterback goes down.
Yes, and that was kind of I was going to do what I was comfortable with, and I felt like what fit our kids a little bit better. We had a lot of athletic track basketball kids out that could play wide receiver, and I thought that was our best bet of utilizing them and kind of getting them the ball in space and creating mismatches with opposing defenses. And like I said, it took a little bit before it started functioning properly, but once it did, we really improved the last half of the season for sure.
Yeah, I saw that you had some blowouts early, and then one possession games down the stretch there. How do you carry that into this season?
As we started looking at our personnel, what was coming back and who was going to be here, it made it easier to say, hey, I think this is our strength. We're going to be able to get the ball out. We're going to be able to run the ball a little bit more effectively than we did last year. I think it was just kind of that where the kids fit into the offense, and I think me having another year of it is going to have a better grasp of what the talent looks like, and then also the kids aren't learning a totally different thing every year, so it's going to help us out.
I'm sure with the losses, it can take its toll on kids like that. And what does it say about the ones who have stuck around and want to build this thing?
I've made mention of it a lot of times. We've lost 21 in a row. And this is our first year, and since the first year of our varsity program, we're going to have double-digit seniors. So those kids going into their senior year haven't seen a whole lot of success, but they're still here, and there's over 10 of them. It says a lot about their drive to be successful and to kind of put a stamp on Clever football moving forward, that they want this to be their identity, and hey, we're going to get this thing turned around. So
that must be something that they talk about a lot, huh? Is ending that streak?
Yeah, yes, and some of them, I think, want to try to make it go away by not thinking about it. I keep throwing it back out there. We're likely to do 21 sit-ups or 21 push-ups at any time, 21 sprints. Just kind of keep it in their mind that, hey, winning's not everything. And I tell the youth program every year, if we get more kids out next year, that's really a win for us. But right now, getting a W in that scoreboard or on that win column is really going to help our program kind of turn the corner and become, what we think it should become throughout the years.
What are maybe some players that you haven't mentioned yet that you're going to be relying on?
Right now, up front, we're going to rely a lot on our offensive line. Peyton Guccione has started since he was a freshman. He's going to be he's a senior this year. He's a great big kid, 6'4", about 270, really strong in the weight room, been a leader. He's the guy that organizes the offensive line for us, gets it going. Max Alley's returning. He started last year as a sophomore, coming back. So he had 10 games of experience as a high school player. We're looking for those two to really be leaders up front. We got 3 new starters coming in up front, but 2 of them are seniors and one of them's a junior that have experience. So it's going to help us out. Those linemen are critical to us. Skill guys, Xavier Robinson led us in receptions, led us in receiving yards last year, led us in touchdowns. He was voted our team MVP, and he's back. So we're really excited about what he brings. 2 other receivers that we are bringing back, Gage Evans. Gage played quarterback last year and broke his collarbone and has kind of transitioned to wide receiver right now. And Lucas Peebles is our other wide receiver. They were all 3, Xavier, Gage, and Lucas were state track meet qualifiers. So we've got some speed on the outside, and we're looking for that. Quentin Limmer returns at running back. He was a workhorse for us last year, probably started 7 of the 10 games, had a lot of carries. Quarterback-wise, we're looking Braden Baker. Started and filled in last year when Gage got hurt. He's coming back as a junior. He's done a lot of things good. And then we had a move in this summer from Glendale. His name's Rex Dieters. Rex had played at Glendale a few games at quarterback, was an all-conference wide receiver for them. So we're really excited about what he's going to bring kind of to our passing game and kind of how it's going to lift us up a little bit more.
Awesome. Anything I didn't ask you about the team you want to mention?
Defensively, Jack Whitlinger is going to return. He's kind of our heart and soul energy guy. He's started off and on since his freshman year as well. We're looking for him to be an inside linebacker presence. Xavier's going to start back there at free safety again. He was all conference there. Avon Guajardo was an all conference honorable mention strong safety. He's another kid that had over 100 tackles last year for us. Our defense was on the field a lot. We had 2 kids over 100 tackles. So when you got that, you know you're playing a lot of defense. And we want to kind of limit our defense a little bit more and play more offense this season.